One Lucky Piggy. He puts on the PiggyBanx dinner and he tells all from where they've been. PiggyBanx in his own journey to where they're going and everything in between. So much to cover, including a display of some of his own pieces. He is a student of PiggyBanx like none I've ever met. You're going to enjoy every minute of this one. I barely had to ask any questions. There is so much ground to cover. Enjoy One Lucky Piggy's next. One Lucky Piggy, or Jason. Welcome to the show, my man.
Thank you, brother. When I first made that handle, I had no idea how true it was actually gonna be, and now I love it, dude. I love it so much. But yeah, Jason's fine. One Lucky Piggy's fine. I go by both.
It's one of my favorite handles, no doubt, man. So, for those that don't know, who are you? What do you do for a living? It looks like you have a beautiful background there. Talk to me.
Yeah, so my name is Jason Quinn. I am a chef and restaurateur, and I guess I'm lucky enough to be Piggy's favorite chef and restaurateur, and kind of become a place where many collectors come through, and I mean, there's never really a week that goes by without a big deal Piggy collector coming through the restaurant, which is called Detention 2.0, which is quite a long story of how we even got to that name and moment, and I'll see how quickly I can do it for you.
Tell me about
give
it.
give you the super cliff notes. So I graduated college from UC Santa Barbara and basically immediately started working in restaurants. After 2 years of in the front of house, my friend, he wanted to start a food truck, and I was like not ready to hand over recipes that he could give someone to make, but I said, hey, I'll be the chef, I'll be your partner. And we were basically off the ground in like 6 weeks selling food on the street. We were lucky enough to get called by Food Network. We did their food truck race show, season 2, which luckily enough was the only season that the winners got $100,000, which we did.
Awesome.
And then basically a couple months after that, I opened my first restaurant, Playground. So I was really only a part of the food truck for about a year. My last day, funny enough, was June 6th, which was the day that we actually won $100,000 in Miami. It was really, really cool, kind of 1 year journey. And then a few months later, the same year, we opened Playground, which was an amazing restaurant we ran for 10 years in the space that Detention currently is. So at the 10-year mark, COVID had kind of been wrapped up, but we had lost a lot of the core staff members that I thought were really, valuable to our experience. And like if I look out and you're a regular that I want to make sure has an amazing time, and I see that just the by luck, the lowest in the totem pole server is dealing with you, you've got a real shot at being pissed off at this guy and not liking it. And obviously, it got to a point where my regulars were more valuable to me than the quality of the staff that was available to me. And so I was ready to walk away and shut it down. So I live upstairs from the restaurant. I got a really beautiful custom apartment up here. And so my life is pretty directly tied to money coming in this building. And the team that was with me at the 10-year mark at the end of Playground, they were like, hey, we want to keep going. It's cool that you want to do something else, but we want to keep going. So I said, sure, go ahead. We got to change the name, though. So I always said what I would do after having too much fun on the playground would be going to Detention.
Okay.
And so it went from Playground to Detention, and it was a perfect example of employees running a business for employees. And I'm not talking shit on them, but the reality is that their number one focus was employee quality of life. And in a hospitality business, it has to be guest experience. Like, it just has to be.
Sure.
And if you're not willing to be second or third or whatever, then you can't work in this industry. So anyway, it wasn't going as well as it needed to. So I had to get back involved. Detention 2.0, we kind of cleaned house. And now we only have 8 employees. So it's myself, 2 cooks, 2 front of house people who are like, to call them front of house people is so rude. They're so good at their jobs, and they know everything, every detail about every single one of our members. And then I've got 3 bartenders. And so it's a tiny, tiny crew. And like I mentioned to you earlier, we're only open Wednesday through Saturday. So we do 4 days a week, the same crew. And we have just under 900 members that we deal with. So we're able to be really, incredible attention to detail to each group that comes in. Whereas we used to do like 450 people in a night. Now we do like 60. And I'm the only person who talks to people about food. I don't personally drink, so I'd be like the worst person to talk to about what you're going to drink. So my bartenders will come, they'll sit down with you, and everyone gets like as custom of an experience as you're willing to talk about. So a very special place, very, very cool. I absolutely love my job, especially because now I really only work 5 hours a day, 4 days a week.
Sure.
And I've gotten to meet so many incredible Piggy collectors and, you know, the crew from the studio themselves. And so I really do just feel about the luckiest Piggy around.
I love it because I don't know if you know, I'm Italian. I have a special place in my heart for delicious food. And I love what you've created, right? It's like your own little piggy verse. Not only are you tied to PiggyBanx, but the whole member only and the fact that you've nailed that model and have such attention to detail, like the juxtaposition between you and the PiggyBanx world is eerily similar. I love it.
It is true. I'll like I said, I'll be the first to say that I've lost my edge as that like guy who's just at 110% all the time, focused on the business. And like I said, Brad has not. He's very much in the beginning phases still. I mean, we're like not even 3 years into this. And I'll give you an example. We did the first event, which we'll call the Art Collector event, because that was the piece from that event, April 6th. And I'll be real, I really don't think it could have gone any better. I was very nervous doing a second one that we were just not going to be able to improve on it at all. And it was a huge undertaking for the studio because they kind of hosted open house at the studio with like 50 collectors coming in, which is no easy task at all, like the whole day before. And then even the day of, it was just moving, 10 wall pieces, bringing over the Sip Assist lamps, bringing over all the incredible stuff that we were going to auction and that we were going to raffle. So it was a huge undertaking for them. So I said, hey, like the community's asking for another event. 8/24 seems to be this kind of perfect day. There's already the West Coast Card Show. We already have a lot of collectors that are going to be out here as it is. It's Kobe Day. We could do something awesome. Like this is a great day for it. So we get to a point where we kind of handshake on that day. And it's like, we don't know how much energy we have to do the same thing again, to really bring as much stuff or to be involved. And like, they're the artists. Everyone wants to come be there. Everyone wants to talk to them. Everyone wants to, it's like, it's not easy,
Yeah.
And so they said, look, let's just make it more of like a trade night. Like, you guys can all get together. We'll supply a piece. We'll supply raffle stuff, but like, we're not really going to be involved. And so I'm like, okay. So, I mean, I send out the link to everyone who's in the group chats and on the Discord. Hey, here's another event going on. Like, there's not going to really be any auction stuff. There's not going to be any people from the studio. There's not going to be studio visits. Like, if that's the only reason you're coming, I guess don't come. So I'll be totally real that every time Brad told me he wasn't going to come, I'm like, I think you're going to come. Like, I do. I think you're going to show up because I can't imagine him like living at, being at home on a Sunday night knowing that like 85 just like people who worship the ground that he walks on are like 9 miles away at a place like worshiping. You know what I mean? Like I can't see a world where you don't show up. So I always thought it was going to happen. And about 10 days before the event, I'm in Turkey. Okay. And I get a message from someone at the studio, and this is right here, like the reason that we know we're in the right spot as collectors and enthusiasts of this company is because they said, hey, can we get the floor plans to the restaurant? And I'm like, what do you want them for? Like, like, oh, well, we're just going to do like an installation or something like that. And so then they send me the plans. And I'm like, this is you guys not doing something? Like, this is you guys not being involved? And Graham, he said to me, and he goes, we had a meeting as a team, and we realized that if we're not doing 110%, like, it's just not worth doing. And that mentality, like that switch, like they literally stopped everything they were doing. And for 2 weeks, they worked on only the stuff that they provided at the dinner, where they basically had said, we're not coming. We're not going to be here. Don't expect us. And I mean, people were looking at me the night of like, dude, you put together such an incredible event. I'm like, bro, I did fuck all, like compared to this. Like I just had the food ready and I was ready to do some auction stuff. And like, that was about it. And then obviously these guys just like, they came through. They're just different. They're next level. Nobody was like expecting anything. Nobody was prepared for it. Nobody was going, oh, what are they going to top it? Like, and they did it anyways, you know? And I mean, it was not an easy undertaking for sure. I mean, the detail is unreal. I took the meta glasses on and I did like a 3-minute video of walking through trying to get like every single detail. And I ran out of time. It wasn't enough time, bro. It's more than 3 minutes of looking to really see everything. So it's about 4 minutes of, you know, just as much stuff as you could see. The video that they posted, their propaganda video about how they've been there the whole time, was just playing on these TVs around. The Blade Runner is, you know, I'm not a big Peaky Blinders fan. Totally fine passing on that as a 100-400 thing. But man, the fucking wall piece was so nice. It was so nice. Yeah, really incredible, man. Really incredible. Wish you could have been here. And honestly, like I'm even more nervous about another one because there is just
you gotta
no
step
way.
it up.
There's just no room to continue stepping. Like there isn't, you know.
Expectation management, Jason.
Yeah, we had 85 people come through. 85 people paid $1,200 a ticket, you know, which included a piece, which included all you could drink, all you could eat. I mean, incredible food. But I mean, it was just an awesome time in general. Like, it's amazing how many people that maybe I haven't like loved the vibe of in a group chat, and they'll hit me up and they're like, "Hey, like we want to come through the restaurant." I'm like, "Yeah, of course, sure." And they come through, and you know, what do you know? This person who you maybe didn't think you were gonna like in a group chat is actually a really fucking cool person, and you have a ton in common because, of course, we're all kind of obsessed in the piggy world. So I always encourage people to come to these events just because it's unbelievable how much we have in common. You know, even if we think that we're so different, just talking a little bit in person can change everything. There was a person at the first event who didn't want to come because they actually feared like physical violence from somebody. And then literally like they were in line next to each other, like laughing and showing pieces. And I'm like, you motherfuckers weren't going to come because you thought you had beef. And here you are, you look like best friends, you know? And, so I safe to say I've been wrong every time that I thought I wasn't going to really love somebody. Actually, that's not true. One time I was right, but they're not in the scene anymore. But total dickhead.
So great.
Yeah.
So you host the Piggy dinner. Like, why you? There's 1,000 restaurants. How'd you land on being the go-to place?
Yeah, I mean, like we kind of mentioned already, like we do something very special. You know, what we do is really unique. Every time I meet somebody and they're like, "Oh, you at a restaurant? What kind?" I'm like, it's hard to say. Like, we don't fly a flag. We make whatever we want to. It's kind of custom and unique to each person who comes in. It's, you know, indicative of our mood, and you know, it's hard to explain. So I'm like, well, you just got to come in and see it, and you know, we can make anybody happy. So I think that's obviously like a big deal. You know, we used to be a lot more like, this is the way we do things, that's it. But now we're very pliable. And if you just want steamed veggies and some baked protein, like, babe, you're going to get it. You know what I mean? Like, it's all good. We're going to make you happy, you know, or we're going to die trying.
I heard people. Oh, good.
No, I mean, I was just mumbling, rambling.
I saw people talking in Instagram and Discord about like they were still reminiscing on the food. Now, again, as a foodie, as an Italian guy over here, talk to me briefly about what you served that night, and then we'll get into the bigger picture.
Yeah, I mean, we served over like 20 dishes throughout the course of the night because it wasn't like there was any one period where everyone had to be seated. If you wanted food, there was a kitchen with food coming out of it. I mean, we had these little Parmesan tapioca fritters, which was a big hit with people. One of my favorite first bites in the world. We were serving some incredible hamachi with this Vietnamese salad on top of it. Lots of texture. I love a good fish sauce dressing. And then we actually rolled out an almond wood grill, and one of our cooks, who's a Discord handle is Unstoppable Sandwich or Gourd Master or whatever. He was out cooking peri peri chicken over the almond wood fire. We had A5 Wagyu and my favorite steak in the world, which is a domestic Wagyu from Papillon, Nebraska. It's an outside skirt steak. And then we had this incredible lamb from New Zealand. And we were just kind of rotating through these grilled items with different sides. You know, we had whole roasted cauliflower with tahini and plancha breads. You know, lots of different stuff throughout the night. These little salad sliders that we love as well. So whatever you wanted to get out of it, we were able to do. We had some killer ice cream sandwiches for dessert, and also this just like wacky dish called Mandarin popcorn that we stole from a restaurant in New York. And it's like, it's unreal. It defies logic. So Yeah, that's just some highlights from the food that night.
That's worth the $1,200 price of entry right there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, that doesn't even take into consideration the incredible cocktails that my guys in the bar were doing as well. And I don't know if you saw the video, but we had a Piggy ice luge,
I did.
which is just so cool. It's
Yeah.
so cool.
I got some bootleg footage, man. So I caught a glimpse of it. I'm going to put together a video after this one to try to do my recap of an event that I didn't attend, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, there's definitely a lot of people who got some great footage, you know?
Yeah, no doubt. So walk us through the night, right? We covered foods and drinks a little bit, but talk about auction, the people, the raffles. Like, take me
Yeah.
through it. PiggyBanx and
Um,
team set up your whole place like a studio. Go from there.
yeah, so first thing when people walked in is where you check in. We had name tags, we had raffle tickets. Everyone got 20 raffle tickets, and I had behind me 90 briefcases that all had a piece in them. And I said, "Put your name tag on, take your raffle tickets, and pick a piece." And people were like, "You pick one for me." I'm like, "Nope, I'm not touching any of them.
Yeah.
You point at one. You are the one who gets to decide right now which one you got." There was 90 pieces, 15 special variants. So you literally had a 1 in 6 chance
Wow.
of getting a special. And, you know, some people would open them right away. Some people would walk around. Some people waited till they got home to open them. I mean, I can't imagine doing that.
Yeah.
And then there was the shirts, the PiggyBanx Club Collector shirts that people were able to grab as well. And then we had, I think, 12 PMGs that were like displayed and 12 mystery boxes. The mystery boxes were all $750. The PMGs were all $5K. And then there was the raffle for the wall pieces, the Joint Forces, Virtually Reality, Blade Runner, and then the King of the City. And then we had the 400%, 100% Shohei Blue Label Diamond set for the raffle as well. And then we did for live auction the Hush Money Transparency, which was a beautiful piece. I want to say it went for just under 10K, I think like 9,700 or something like
Steal.
that.
Yeah.
And then we had the Money Gang Alpha, which went for 15K. And we did the Spiders Man Alpha 400 100 set, which I think went for 13.5. So those were the live auction numbers for those pieces. And then, of course, there was an unbelievable banger in the mystery box. I mean, a lot of them were crazy, but there was one that was in the Pokemon mystery, and it was an Attack of the Pack in dime piece variant. And I've never seen another dime piece, never heard of another dime piece variant. It's essentially like a mini platinum record.
Okay.
So it's a special variant that was sitting in a 750 mystery box, which like already an Attack of the Pack is like an easy 5K piece. And so to get a special variant of it for $750 was just absolutely crazy. And then of course we auctioned off, or we raffled off, a Moon Mando. And Samson Wong, who's one of the knights, who's one of the best guys in the community, he was able to get that one, which is like the best price anyone will ever get on a Moon Mando. It was a beautiful gold label radiant piece, just stunning. And you know, as the guy who picked it, I felt really happy that it was going to Sam. When we had our first dinner, he got a diamond Leviathan. And when I pulled his name out, he was, "The fuck yeah!" It was like, it was so pronounced, it was so loud, it was so pure that like just to have him do that again. And he happened to be like right next to me too, so I was able to look at him and just say Samson, and he went nuts. But really cool.
That's one of the bootleg videos I got. I saw you pull it. I saw you. He was behind you. You turn around. You say Samson, and he screamed.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was like there was some of the raffle things with only, you know, like 10 tickets in it.
Yeah.
But the Moon Mando, I mean, it might as well have had 1,000 tickets in it. I mean, it was absolutely insane. Like, you know, they're tickets, and it was noticeably heavy.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Which, I mean, you know, you'd kind of be crazy not to.
Sure, of course.
You know, like, I mean,
you at least drop one in there. Everyone's at least dropping one. There's 90, right?
Yeah. But I mean, if you're looking for like a value for money, or even just like the opportunity to get, I mean, who even knows like how you get a Moon Mando anyways? So like the chance that there is one that is available in some way is already pretty cool.
I would have struggled walking, just the videos I saw, I would have struggled with 20 raffle tickets of where to put them. I would have struggled.
Yeah,
those pieces, all of them were amazing.
Yeah, they were very cool, very cool. And obviously, like, there was 24 to 27 slots to put your tickets in. So, I mean, you could have done a pretty good job of
Yeah.
differentiating if you really needed to. But I have a feeling you would have figured it out.
I'm positive. I'm
Yeah.
positive. So
Yeah.
what's your favorite part? You've now done 2, right? Now you're scared of doing number 3. What's your
Yeah.
favorite part, though, in hindsight, about hosting that annual dinner? Because it's a special day, like you said.
Yeah. I mean, it is so fun. I mean, I think it's fun for everybody, but like to be the guy who's hosting it, to be the guy that everyone. I talked to every single person who came in. I checked every person in who came in that night. Walking around, constantly available to anybody if they needed something. Just being able to be the person who puts on an incredible event that everyone's. People wanted me to sign their fucking briefcase.
Yes.
I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not. I've got a garbage signature. B, like, I have nothing to do. Someone asked me, they're like, hey, bro, you really need to do like a Garbage Pail Kids design. And I'm like, are you talking to me like I have any say in the fucking design of PiggyBanx? Because like I don't. And if I say something, it's actually more likely it won't happen. Like I'm a diehard Arsenal fan, a huge soccer fan. And of course, like I'm like at some point I'm like, yo, Piggy, like, come on, we got to do some Arsenal shit.
Sure.
He's like, I would literally rather do a hill with some grass that's on fire and call it Arson Knoll than do an Arsenal piece. And I'm like, how did you have that like on lock, ready to go,
Yeah.
just like ready to shit on me and like basically say you'd rather do burning grass than a piece for my incredible team that isn't like it's like a top 10 supported club in world sports. Like it's not a nothing club, but whatever, So bottom line is, don't ask me to ask Piggy to help to put a design in because it's just not going to happen.
I love it. I love that he's on the ready to just bury you.
Yeah, no, he's a very quick guy, and he's very good with wordplay.
That's awesome. How do you know him? When did you meet? How long do you go back with Mr. Banks?
June 28th, 2024 was the first day that they came through the restaurant.
Okay.
And we just immediately hit it off and knew that we were, contemporaries in our own spaces. And, we saw just a lot of immediate things that were very similar in both of us. And we're both the same kind of crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I think that we attract easily. And obviously, as they had other big collectors that would come through or people that maybe they were trying to woo to get to come work for them, or they just wanted a night out. They knew we were always good for it. We would always kind of deliver, and we just started becoming great friends like that. I mean, and now it's pretty natural. So yeah. I mean, how do you meet any friend?
Yeah. How often do you run into them these days?
3 times a month, probably. I mean, obviously a little bit more when we're putting on an event together, but
Sure.
I would say something like that is pretty usual.
That's great. And just one of those 3, you just voice your opinion about pieces and get
No.
on?
It's probably been a solid year since I've brought up any sort of idea.
Twice.
Yeah, because I learned immediately that it was just having the most adverse effect. Yeah. So anyway,
All right. So you're a stud chef, right? But you're also a PiggyBanx collector. Is that true?
Yeah, I have just over 60 pieces.
Yes.
And I have brought out, I think, like 14 of my favorites that I have right here with me that I was happy to show.
Let's do it.
And I'll start off with one that I think is like one of the most special ones that I have. And you've probably never seen it before, but this is the PBX 24 wrap-up. And this shows a lot of the people they started working with during this period. And if you look right up here, you'll see actually the Detention logo. The D with the line through it. So the fact that we have our logo on a Piggy piece, I had no idea. I was given just like a gift bag from the end of the night, and I opened it, and I couldn't believe my eyes. In fact, I actually didn't notice it at front, and then Cody had to point it out to me. But it's got the Good Charlotte logo. It's got the black hoodie. It's got the Moon Mando. It's got the Aaron Kai collaboration. So it really shows off like kind of their year of growth. So
That's
anyway,
awesome, man. This is why you're cut off. This is why you can't have ideas. You have your own piece.
Yeah, well, we're one of like 9 things on the piece,
That's all. Hey, there could be 1,000 things. You're on it.
Yeah. So then another one that's super special is the It Was All a Dream in canvas. But this is the limiting factor if you were wanting to put together the 3-piece set for it, because it's very hard to notice, but there's like a teal thing going on with the label up here. And this is the one that is like, there's only 3 or 4 or 5 of, super, super rare. Couldn't believe that this was the one that I got. And I'll never forget where I was when this drop happened, because I was literally in the middle of Target. And I'm like, Piggy drop, and my kids are running around like crazy. So I'll never forget the It Was All a Dream.
That's a fan favorite. Everybody loves that piece.
Well, the thing is, like, for me, when you can, the pieces that are the most special to me are the ones that have like a clear moment, dream, relatability thing. And like I told them right away, like I remember being like the guy going to bed like month 2 of the restaurant, dreaming of it being like even a shadow of what it is now.
Yeah.
And like obviously our industry is so competitive. So at the beginning, my goal was just make it a year.
Sure.
And now we're like literally going into our 15th year. And so it's just kind of wild that that's even possible. And it's hard to not sit there and sit back right now and think about it and say like, oh man, it was all a dream that like this actually all happened.
That's awesome.
So anyway, I absolutely love that piece. This is another one. This is my my only alpha, probably the only one I'll ever get, and I'm totally fine with that. But this is the art collector piece, obviously from the first event that we did, and super cool because when I made the One Lucky Piggy account, I just put underneath it art collector, and had no idea at the time that that would be the name of the piece. This is the first piece that was made with the new back. So to have the alpha from this piece, I don't know if you know, Kurt, but that briefcase is a real physical thing that Cody painted on, and we had it only at the first event and also at this one here. So it's one of the the same family of things like Tangerine Dreams and Glimpse of Gotham and Joint Forces and Love Struck. This kind of falls into that same category if you were really a neurotic set collector.
Yeah, I mean, you're perfect for that piece, though. You hosted the first dinner that was given out, right?
I mean, I agree. Like I said, like I that's the only one I'll ever get, and I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah.
Here's another little cool one that I love. I'm a big soccer guy. So this is the Real money, oil money, but it's in matching Starburst.
Yes.
And these have the 2 colorways. They have also the yellow, blue, and white ones. But I love the money one. And the fact that they're both Starburst. This was the first kind of matching set that I put together, and it really started a fire for that. I'm like that kind of neurotic. And here's the one that I'm the most proud of, which is the Girl Dad matching refractor set.
Yes.
Which is just an unreal piece. This to me is an all-time Piggy. 8/2/24, the date that it was released. Kobe played in 8 and 24. Gigi played in 2. This is such an easy image. Like this isn't like anywhere near as good of art as they're capable of producing, but within 2 seconds you know the full story of this piece.
Yeah.
And the alt art I think is particularly sick as well, with all the little kind of Easter eggs of the basketball world.
I've never seen that variant. That's awesome.
Yeah, the alt art one is particularly sick. So to have both of these in the refractor, to me, that's just like the pinnacle of Piggy collecting.
Love it.
This is the most valuable piece that we have, which is the Big 4 in the X-Fractor. So as far as I know, there's not an alpha of this that's made, and if it was out there, it's being very, very well hidden. But I think this is maybe the best Piggy ever made as far as the desirability of it amongst Pokemon collectors. I mean, it's a perfect, perfect piece, and to have it in this incredible PMG variant from really before PMGs were really out there, incredible piece, incredible piece. And this one actually fully belongs to my son, who's 8 years old. So he's got a nicer Piggy collection than pretty much everybody.
That variant on that piece is insane.
Yes, it is. And that brings me to another one of my absolute favorite pieces, which is the Stark Contrast. And you can see we've got the full set, all 3. And these are both in refractor. And I'm going to call him out right now. Tade Petrosia in Sith Life Crisis has the green one. And we've made a deal for it like 3 months ago. The guy lives like 40 minutes away. And he came to the fucking dinner without the piece. Like I even am locked and loaded with the cert right behind it because I know we're going to make that trade soon, so I can finally put together the full refractor set. But anyway, he was very generous to do it for me, so it's I'm not really yelling at him that much. But for me, this is like the best all-time Piggy. This came out the Monday after the Saturday, I think Comic-Con or whatever, when it was announced that Robert Downey Jr. was going to be playing Doom. Of course, going from Iron Man to Doom is a stark contrast of, what that character is. Of course, Tony Stark being the name of the character he was, this being a direct kind of nod to the Fantastic Four number 258. So many things line up perfectly for this piece. I don't know if you've seen the Fantastic Four 258, but it's kind of the inverse of this. With like the Doom hand pulling away and the face being revealed in this. Anyway, you should look up Fantastic Four 258 because you'll see it is exactly the nod to this. It's the exact opposite of it. And so they did their homework, man. They did it so fast too. Like to just be on it that quick from Saturday to Monday. And be ready with 3 beautiful variants, which that is one of the things that a perfect Piggy has to have for me. It has to have an incredible name that's relevant to the date. Okay, which this one is, right? Yep. It's got to have 3 variants, or I should say like a set of 3 to collect, whereas like Girl Dad only has 2.
Sure.
And it's got to be like a triple entendre. Like it's got to really deliver on all those levels, and if you can get that, that's a perfect Piggy, and that's one that's frankly going to cost me quite a bit of money because I'm going to chase down something like this,
I love your passion. When I started this channel, I was trying to highlight pieces, and I realized immediately, Jason, that I needed to do research in order to even speak to these. Because to your point, I can appreciate the art for what it is, right? But to get the nuances that Piggy and Cody and team are putting in there, like I need to do homework, and now you just given me another assignment. I got to look into it.
It's too much. It's too much, honestly. Like that's the thing. Like I actually kind of feel bad for Piggy in a little sense because they don't have an adversary or anyone who's even really rivaling them.
Yeah.
And I know that when we were at the beginning of the restaurant, we were constantly every week we were going to the places that people thought were better than us, and we were trying their food and we were going, shit, this is better than ours. How do we get better? How do we get better? And, you get to a point where you feel confident in yourself that you're better than the people around you. And then it's hard to not like coast a little bit.
Sure.
But it's just such a shame for me that all these other card artists just seem to be so clearly a step down from where Piggy is, or as I call them, false idols. And it's just, I get it. People want the rush of hitting. They want to collect something, but nobody's doing it in any way that's comparable to what Piggy's doing. And it's just I feel bad because I think that they would be so much happier if they had someone who was right there that every day they were looking at. They're going, shit, that's more creative.
You need a nemesis, right?
You need a nemesis. You need a nemesis. And like that's the reality is that like they have all these pretenders, these people who like want to be that. And I'm not trying to trash any one individual artist. I'm just saying that like as a whole, the entire rest of the card art community is just really lacking the dynamicism that PiggyBanx has,
Sure.
So I hope for their sake that they do get their nemesis, because I think that does make people stronger. That gives you more drive. It gives you more day to day. But right now they're just in that place of their own. And honestly, like the things that they even talk about doing are so fucking wacky. Do you understand what's happening in this video game?
No, I heard a little bit about it, and it was already mind-blowing. I'm sure I don't know even 10% of it.
The fact that they understand that $750 prices some people out of this art.
Sure.
But if you don't have $750, but you've got time to grind and you want to win pieces through playing a video game, they're making that an option. Like it's just like, why? Like why? You guys, this is not your thing. And they're like, yeah, but we can. So we're doing it. And, who does that?
It takes a certain level of discipline, to your point, without any external push for you to stay that focused and driven. That takes tremendous discipline.
Yeah, and that's why when we say or even on their Instagram it says different, And like that's the thing, they are different. They know right now if they just wanted more money, they could easily up the price, they could easily up the pop count every day. They could easily sit there and go, "Hey, who wants specials? Who wants this? Who wants this?" They're not interested in that.
Sure.
You're not interested in that, and they've got a vision. I don't even know what it is 100%, but they've got one, and they're going for it, and they're not wavering. And obviously, like the art that's coming out of the studio is just incredible. And I'll tell you what, the best days of my life are the days that I don't like the Piggy art, because it's just a day I get to go. Not an issue for me. No stress about if I hit today. Just like a nice easy day of chilling. And more importantly, like, because I've met so many of these people in real life, I've now found my space as a cheerleader way
Yeah.
more than as an active collector. Like, I am so picky now about the ones that I'm submitting for, the ones that I'm trying to get. Whereas I want to sit there every day and find someone who, like, that's their dream piece, and I want to see like how much support we can drum up in the community to see that if we can get that to Piggy in front of him, that maybe this person should be selected or should get one.
Yeah.
And it's pretty incredible how many times we can get the right people the piece that they want. I remember there was a guy who was having a really rough go, and they dropped the Sea of Sakura, and this guy was like one of the biggest One Piece collectors, and it was just like, okay, first of all, I've never seen 1 second of One Piece, so like I'm not gonna submit. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I love that I haven't seen any One Piece, because if I did love it, I'd have to go chase down all these impossible to find fucking One Piece piggies, and I'm thrilled to not. In fact, piggies are keeping me from even trying One Piece, because if I do like it, then I'm fucked.
Understood.
Yeah. But anyway, we were able to just drum up enough noise, and this guy hit, and like that's what it's all about, right? Like you find someone who, like, that's going to change their life if they get it, and you can have any little small part in that being the case. It's like so much more rewarding than like, oh, well, I don't like it, I'm not going to go for it, and then just like tuning out of the Piggy world for that day.
Absolutely. And it's happened. I see it all around, to your point. And I've only been in the game for 3 or 4 months. I've seen it happen more times than I can count. It's incredible.
Yeah. I mean, you don't see that anywhere else. And I don't know
Either.
how much you've been following like social media the last couple of days, but like Neo FTs, he put it right. Like, there are a lot of people who like other arts, but they're not coming together and having these communities that we have, and having these real life meetups that we have, and like just the trading on Sunday night of people trying to get this perfect set of all 3 arts of the What If I Told You series, which, there was only 90 pieces made, 30 of each art. There's, in theory, only 30 perfect sets that could exist.
That's right.
And, I know 2 people who put together sets that night. One guy, Samir Gupta, who put together the perfect matching set in disco, all 3 of them.
Oh, wow.
Like, that's so tight. Like, and, obviously Samir's a really well-known guy in the community, so he was able to kind of utilize that and make sure people like him. They wanted to make sure he got the pieces too. But it was super cool to see not only all the people trying to trade, but all the people who were reluctant to move. They're like, no, this is my dinner piece. Like, I want this. Like, I don't care if you're trying to make a set and I have your missing piece. Like, I want to be here at this dinner. I want something to have for it. So it was very cool. Very cool.
Love it. So back to the dinner. Did you also play auctioneer? Your host, your chef, are you also auctioneer?
For that particular event, yes, that's my full experience of auctioneering, is both dinners. And I prefer it that way because, I was privy to what the mystery boxes were beforehand, so obviously it doesn't feel right for me to get involved with those. And as much as I love all the PMGs and whatnot, like, I'm not really in a position to just be dropping 5K, here and there.
Sure.
Especially like if ones are not like exactly in, my lane of my thing that I'm looking for. And I've been so lucky to kind of have almost completed that journey. Like, I'm not really hunting too many other pieces that are out there because I've been so good about getting the exact ones that I want and being at a really good spot where, like, now I look at my pieces and I'm like, wow, now we're like not really at a spot where we could be trading anything. It's like we're kind of done now. You know what I mean? We're kind of done with, like, it's set. Everything's what we want. And there was a couple, like, this is one that I was hunting for a really long time. It's so good. It's so good. It's just an incredible piece. I mean, obviously, I'm a huge Nirvana fan. I love that, it would say Nirvana, Nevermind. It says Pikachu on the mind. You've got, of course, the ash money instead of the real money. You've got the tail instead of the little baby penis. And it's called Smells Like Team Rocket. You know what I mean? Like, it's a perfect piece. You know immediately what it is when you see it. And, I just like that was just a need, and I think that one was one that I needed for like a year, and got it maybe 11 months after just looking for it, and it's not an easy piece to find, you know.
No doubt.
I'll show you my all time favorite. Actually, this is the one that I knew I needed the second that I found Piggy, and it's the MJ the Gathering. So obviously, for me, everyone remembers their first pathway into cards. For me, it was Magic the Gathering. I remember being like 9, being at school, ripping packs, hearing about how someone's cousin knew someone with the Black Lotus, and now I'm a guy who enjoys, you know, the greener things. And so to have like this kind of perfect blend of the Black Lotus with cannabis, you know, I don't know if you ever read what it says here, but it says adds 420 mana of any single color of your choice to your mana pool, then is discarded. Tapping this artifact will elevate the vibe and increase creativity. And I just love it. It's just so good.
I've never
It's so
seen
good.
that piece in person ever.
Yeah, it's incredible. There's only like 10 of them. Yeah, that's just like it was the most mandatory piece in the collection. And then the other one I brought out because I did something that was kind of crazy. I assembled one of each variant.
Okay.
With the exception of Hollow, which there is in the Piggy locker downstairs at the restaurant, a Hollow podium prayers. And I was told that if I needed to, I could use that one to photograph. So I had a picture of every single variant. And then these motherfuckers unloaded and dropped the transparencies and the phantoms and the bolt fractors and the dualities and the papyrus and the emeralds and the obsidians and the rose golds and the fucking dime piece. And I was like, okay, like, never mind. You know, like, it's done now. It's done. Like, I had this chance to do it. You know, I had the chance, and they didn't, but I was able to pull one of those. I did grab the papyrus messy. So the papyrus is a super sick new variant. So this is my only one of, you know, the bolt fractor, transparency, phantom, all of those sets. So as a variant nerd, I'm so happy to have this one. But it did also signal the end of my ambition to try and have one of each variant.
You know what I love, Jason? Is that so many people I've talked to a ton in the community over the last 90 days. They're almost, and sometimes they want to say something, you could tell them kind of like stop themselves. I love that you're free flowing. You're like, these motherfuckers are dropping.
I mean, you should see some of the messages. You should see some of the messages that I will send over there. You know, if it's a drop. Like I remember they did like the Cashimal Pikachu, and I submitted and I just wrote, you dickheads. Like you're gonna destroy people. Like, you know, you're not good people.
You're not good
and
people.
Like that's like what I remember
You're
too. Like my
people.
goal was always at the restaurant to be like seeming like a good guy, but really I wanted to ruin your ability to enjoy food elsewhere. So it's kind of like an evil plan, you know?
Yeah.
And I kind of think that there's an element to that as well that like is kind of Piggy. Like, let me be real with you. Have you ripped a pack of sports cards since you found Piggy?
No.
Do you have any desire to go get
Absolutely
like a
not.
case of?
In fact, I put a post. I have like, I'm going to say 10 sports cards left to my name. I'm actively going to get rid of them just to get more Piggies. I put a post on Instagram the other day saying trading or selling for Piggies. I specified.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the same. It's the same for me, right? I literally took 100% of my slabs, put them on eBay at $1 start, and just shipped them out. I just wanted them out of here. They did not bring me joy anymore.
Nope.
And so obviously, in that same sense, Piggy has ruined my ability to find card-related joy. I mean, obviously, I know these are art pieces, but I think we all found this for the most part via the card space.
Yep.
And I mean, I just the first time that like I actually saw this, like I was like, oh no, like the card space is doomed.
It's done.
And like it is done. I firmly believe it. Obviously, like there needs to be. We can't have 100% of card collectors decide all of a sudden only Piggy counts. Like that can't happen either. And obviously, if people want to continue playing that game, like there's some people that are super good at it, you know. So obviously, good for them. I was a losing collector always, you know. Like I would never recoup, never hit the big cards. buy slabs at one price, sell them, you're getting 60%. Just like it never
Absolutely.
worked out for me, where I was getting the card, it was catching fire, and then going from there. And obviously, the money back guarantee of Piggy, the way that they hold their value, their just inherent quality and beauty, it's unrivaled. And so I'm full 100% Piggy, and I love it here.
It needs to expand because, to your point, I said before on a previous show that I collected high-end sports cards, right? Flawless MT, if you know the sports cards well, and I hate them. I hate them now, Jason. And
Yeah.
if I'm convinced, if more sports card people saw PiggyBanx, it's instantaneous. Like that moment where I opened my first PiggyBanx, or even just saw it and said I'm going to chase it, everything else was dead.
Yeah. No, it's definitely not in a spot where you can find the same rush from ripping a pack, from seeing anything. And like, even you look at Pokemon and you see it's like an art that is like people like a lot. You're like, okay, like that's not better than Gang. That's not better than these other ones. So it's like, yeah, cool. You have a cool art. Like you're not playing the game. You have a cool card. You like the way it looks, but like this one looks way better. And this one there's only 35 of.
That's right.
And yours there's 12,000 of. And it's just like there's no real rarity, and obviously like so many of these Piggies, like I don't think we'll ever see another Piggy that says second edition. We're first edition moving forward across the way. And if you're just producing new art all the time that's dynamic, and like I think that people do need to adjust their expectations. I think that even if you can get one Piggy a month moving forward, like that's a good run at it. Like I don't think people want to hear that, but I think 6 to 8 Piggies a year is what's realistic if we're going to be in a spot where we do have a larger growth and we have more people involved, because there's too many people who want them. What are we at? 60,000 followers now, and we're talking about maybe 40 pieces that are getting produced.
Yep.
So what is that? One in every 1,500 is going to get one if everybody submits. Like it's just.
Yeah.
It has to be more realistic.
And I don't know what their submission rates are, right? I remember like King of the City 1, I think they say they had north of 1,000, and they probably stopped counting, or I stopped paying attention, right? Yeah, let's say 1,000, 2,000. I mean, you're talking 40 pieces. That's what, 4%, 2% odds of hitting that. Yeah, and to your point, everybody's so acclimated to hitting, they can't become disjointed, right, or disenfranchised if that number goes down. You have to get there.
Yeah, that's the thing is, like, I think that we have to realize that, like, there was these periods. Like, I mean, I don't know what your first day was that you tried to hit or whatnot, but at the beginning for me, I mean, you remember at the very, very beginning, it was literally just you send a DM on Instagram, say, I'll invoice me, and you got it, right?
Yep.
Like, it was really that easy. And then you get to a point where you had to be ready on the website. I learned how to use an auto refresher that would just refresh the site every 3 seconds, so I didn't just sit there and break my fucking finger and the thing. And, there was a period where it just went to open and you could just buy it. But then there was a day where you needed a password. And I've told Brad this story too, but I was at a kid's birthday party on a Sunday. And they're like, hey, so what are you into nowadays? And I'm like, wait a second, you're like super good at coding. Like, can you make a bot that the second that this website turns open, you can buy the thing that's on there? He's like, oh, easy, I could do that in like 2 seconds. I'm like, bro, we got to do it. Like we got to do it right now. So the next day was the golden opportunity drop, which it was the first day that there was required a password.
Okay.
The first day. It's like the fucking kids jumping place that I was at in Ventura County was getting bugged by Piggy. But he literally messaged me. He goes, what's the password? I'm like, there's no password. He goes, well, today there's a fucking password. and so anyway, even my attempts to figure out the system were always too late. And I mean, I've only hit on drop like 3 times, I think, 4 times. So, I mean, it's not easy, it's not easy. But I have had some guests pay for their meals with Piggies too. So that helps as well.
Have you really?
That's awesome. Man. That's not just one. That's a couple.
That's amazing. Yeah. I would 100% do that if I were you.
Oh, 100%. I don't know why anyone would do it on their side, but if you want to do it to me, I'm fully down.
Oh man, I could just see you cursing with your bot, like, you motherfuckers, with your passwords.
Well, I mean, my bot didn't even get off the ground, bro. It was foiled by Piggy.
Oh man. Okay. So what do you want? You say your collection's almost there. Maybe it is there. You're chasing
Yeah.
something. What's out there that
No,
you still need?
no, I'm like insanely happy right
You're
now. There's
good.
only one thing that I liked, which was sorry. There's only one thing that I was really coveting, and that was the full set of the kids, the Brady, the Messi,
Mm,
and the Jordan. Like I've always loved that set, and obviously that's kind of the piece that they did for this last dinner as well.
yep.
You know, they did the Brad version, the Cody version, and then the little Piggy version. And so, I guess like rumor has, I might find my way into grabbing a set of those. And so then that's like kind of the thing that I'm looking for at the moment. And honestly, like I told you, man, like I'm at a spot where I'm so much more infatuated with the team and the community, and collecting has definitely taken like a third seat in my Piggy journey. You know what I mean? Like I
Yep.
would wait if I had to choose between being a collector or a friend of the studio. I would be friend of the studio. If I had to choose, of being like a collector but I had no community, like I would choose community. Like I don't see the point of having an alpha of like 200 pieces but then having no one to enjoy them with, or like I don't want that. So I'm at a spot now where I'm way more interested in making sure that I can be a helpful part of this community, and help find people who, we all want to see these pieces go to homes where they're, cherished forever. Nobody takes any joy in seeing a piece that's been delivered for 2 days just up on eBay. Like nobody wants that.
Facts. Yep.
And so obviously the more that we see that are in private hands, the less that actually change hands. Then you get to a point where the only ones that are changing hands are changing for like very serious money, and then all of us actually have these incredibly valuable collections, and we all go to the moon together, right? Like that's kind of the play here.
Yep.
And so I'm fully in. There was a period where I was like, okay, hey, maybe I could just get like one of each one. Like that wouldn't be too much, right? And then I just totally had a change of heart and realized that like there's a lot of them that I don't personally need and would be in a lot better hands with somebody else.
That's fair. So I have to ask, Jason, because you're close. You see Mr. Banks and the crew 3 times a month. Here comes the question. You hinted at there's a vision, and you probably don't know all of it. Can you give us a sneak peek? Is there a vision that part of the vision you can share with us?
I mean, I got to be real. I feel like I've shared as much as I know. That they're just constantly surprising me. They're constantly pushing at a level that they're just not comfortable. I mean, they're not done.
Yeah.
They've got this like youthful angst that's just like we got to keep pushing, and there's more and there's more and there's more, and it's that miles to go before I sleep, miles to go before, like they just have the battery and they're in their groove and they're going. And so, I mean, what's the real vision? I mean, I don't think they want to just be internet famous. You know what I mean? Like I think personally that they're the next generational talent of artists in the Andy Warhol conversation. And I mean, this textbook image, right? The yes we can
Sure.
girl.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
I literally think the Totally Not Tense Dynamite piece is that quality of art for commentary in a textbook. Like I literally think it is. So if we're talking about textbooks with the Campbell's Soup art, with the Yes We Can, I don't see how that couldn't be in that same book.
Sure.
It's the quality's there.
Yeah. No
That
doubt.
that piece is a social commentary on the tense angst that we are all feeling as people wondering why we're getting involved with these trade wars and tariffs, like with people that have historically been our allies. Like it's a very tense moment, and that piece captured it perfectly.
Yeah.
So I think that that's the level of quality that we're talking about here. And obviously, there's a much different world than it was when Andy Warhol was, one of only a couple contemporary artists that were being discussed about. But I think that that's the ceiling that we have here. Um, you have the full recipe needed for success. You've got a great team that isn't financially motivated. If money was all they wanted, they could make it all. They could make all of it today. They go, hey, for $2,000 a piece, we'll remake any image that we have. They could just sit there. They could sell as many as they wanted. I mean, they could absolutely do it.
For
And who are
sure.
they really hurting? They're not hurting themselves. They're hurting the community if they do that, because they would flood the market. They've got no fucking desire to do that. That couldn't be less on the table for what they're doing, you know? And so they're thinking long term. How do we go to the moon? How does this become a household name? How does a wall piece go from being something that is like $250,000 just because of how rare it is? And honestly, man, I don't think you've been in the same room with a wall piece before, but
No.
I've been lucky enough to have the virtually reality one in the restaurant for the past couple months. And the foil work, the detail on this thing is just like, I can't wrap my head around how you could even do it. Like, it's not just a printed thing. It's so much more than that.
Yeah.
And they're just different, man. They're just different. I got nothing but incredible admiration for the team. I told them before, I told them again, if they said, hey, close the restaurant, come work with us, we'd be closed. I mean, like, I fully see that what they're doing is really the future, and it really does have the real staying power and longevity, and they have the talent. So I'm just excited to see where it goes.
You're a student of the studio. I got to tell you, you know your pieces. I don't want to say better than anyone, but there's no one that can touch you, Jason.
I mean, I'm pretty good.
You're pretty good, man. And the way you're rattling stuff off, I'm like, I'm taking notes over here. I'm like, I have more homework to do.
I've spent a lot of time on the Instagram looking at the pieces, and you know, because like I said, right, like I'm done. I'm good. I'm happy with where I'm at, and like you can only feel that way when you've pretty much scanned everything, and you know that you have what you need, and you don't have what you don't have. And there's obviously pieces that I covet. Have you seen the Smokin' Buddies set?
I have, yeah.
I mean, that's one of the coolest pieces out there,
For sure.
And Piggy and I have smoked together quite a few times, so I think that it's like a fair thing to have. But there's like 4 of them, and they're like all locked, so like it's an easy one to go, okay, like that's not gonna happen, you know. But of course I like it. I would love to have that piece. There's a lot of things that go into that thing, but I'm so lucky to not necessarily be just like a Star Wars guy that needs every single Star Wars piece, or a Pokemon guy that needs every single Pokemon piece. When the Knights group started, a couple people hit me up and they go, hey, like, what's your genre? And I had to send a voice note back. I'm like, okay, so they need to be triple entendres. They need to be this. They need to have like a relevant thing to the date. Like, you know, needs to be this, and this. It's not as easy as like, you know, sports.
That's a great lane, though. I got to tell you, the way you've articulated your lane is like the best. I've been saying, I don't know if you watched any of the episode, I've been saying sports is my lane. I've officially decided I'm widening the lane. Today, I sent Mr. Banks a message. Who knows if he'll ever see it. I said I'm widening it. It's done, and you've even further convinced me of it.
What's your new lane? How wide are we going?
Whatever I see that I like. I can't define it, man. I can't define it.
They definitely speak to you in a different way. You know, it's a really special one as well. It's like another one of my favorite pieces is Storm Shooter.
Yeah.
But see, that also checks the boxes, right? It was a perfect time, like to like how recently this thing happened. There's 3 arts of that. Have you seen all 3?
Definitely 2. I don't know if
there's the one with the American flag background.
Yep.
And then there's the one with the space background, and it's got this like incoming voice message from Vader. And it says, I find your lack of aim disturbing.
I don't have that. I have never seen that one.
No, that's the limiting factor of that one. There's only 5 of that one.
Okay,
that one's crazy. Yeah. And so anyway, so like all of these ones that there's only a couple, like I know all about them. like the stark contrast set, the black one is the limiting factor there.
Okay.
That's if you are trying to get into stark contrast and you don't have a black one, it's not gonna just
shut it down.
Try.
Just shut it down.
Don't try. It's not gonna happen. Yeah.
Man. Yeah, see, I don't even know these exist. How do you even know?
Because I'm obsessed unhealthily, and you know, I'm never more than like 2 hours from just checking what's going on in the community Instagrams and the Discord. Because like I just like it, man. I like it. I you know, I have a good role in the community as well. Like I feel like I'm a pretty good dude, not really trying to step on anyone's toes. I don't really sell. I don't really buy. So I mean, it's like it's pretty easy to not.
Yeah,
get,
you're
like,
neutral. You're neutral as shit.
Yeah, I'm not out here like arguing with your price on something. You know what I mean? Like if I like it, I buy it. If not, like I won't. It's all good. But I think that's where people get friction, right? Is they quote, you know, more expensive when they're selling and less expensive when they're buying.
For sure.
And you know, I think that's where we have this ability to go, oh, no, fuck that guy, rah, 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 you know? It's just like, hold on, bro. Wait until you guys are sharing a beer or a Piggy ice luge together, and you'll realize that, like, you're both just people who want to maximize your investment and make sure you weren't the sucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that's
Was the
all you were
Piggy
trying to
ice luge you, or was that the studio?
We, because they weren't really going to be involved, we took like had a higher budget of kind of Piggy money to blow on
Okay, yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And so we hired like a cigar roller, and we had these like really beautiful custom tubes, like it was like $30 each to get people a beautiful cigar with the beautiful tin and whatnot. And then we had custom ice cubes made with the Piggy logo for like, you know, neat drink or rocks drinks. And then my bartender's like, hey bro, like they can make a luge. Like, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do it. So that luge cost the same as a Piggy piece. I think that's a pretty good value.
Great value, man. That thing is amazing. I put up a preview of this interview already, and there's a picture of the luge in it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's next, man? What's next for the restaurant? Detention 3.0? Where are we going?
No, man. No, I've got no energy for that. I'm actually like at a spot where we're gonna let the restaurant run its course. It ends at the end of next year. That'll be 15 years. I mean, I signed a lease as a 25-year-old. Like, it's just kind of insane that we will actually make it to the end of that. And then honestly, bro, like some people know this, not everybody, but like my family and I will be moving to Spain after that. So we're gonna go, you know, abroad, and frankly, like my only real way to generate revenue is with food and people. And so my goal will be to do some sort of food tourism, whether it's taking people out on tapas crawls, taking people on market tours, doing cooking classes together, making dinners at my house, like whatever needs to happen. But I was able to move abroad when I was younger, and it was just such a transformative experience for me. So it's something that I want to do for my kids as well.
I don't even know what to say, man. That's epic. Good for you. What's next in the PiggyBanx journey? You still in the game in Spain?
We have the thing is that I've already been told that Spain, Jason's not going to hit very much. And I'm like, thanks, bro. But anyway, no, man. I mean, obviously, I love the community. I'm in it. I want to see how we do. You know, I'm very, very invested in this group of people on both sides of it. You know, on the studio and the collectors. And I mean, like, there's nothing worse for me when people who I like tell me that they have a problem with someone else that I like, and I go, oh no, I like both of you guys. I don't want you to have issues. I want everyone to be super happy. And so that's my goal. I want to try to be a vibe curator. I want to try and help as much as I can. I know we have the Knights dinner, which I think is probably the only other time this year that we'll have, you know, a Piggy event, obviously for the 25 Knights who can make it. And then I'm going to leave it up to Piggy when they want to do another event, because this was a very serious undertaking for them. I mean, they came on Friday and started kind of tearing apart one of the dining rooms in the restaurant and getting their thing set up. And I mean, took them quite a while yesterday to get everything taken down. And I mean, bro, the stuff that was left here overnight was just stupid. I mean, stupid. And I woke up and I'm like, I got to get this shit the fuck out of here. I want this out of my liability so bad. So I drove it over to the new studio and dropped it off there, where there was really, honestly, like, they're just wrapping up. So it's a big period for them to get to be moving into their probably final home. And it's very, very cool. I mean, they're going to just obviously, you know, have no limitations when it comes to producing and doing everything under the same roof. So very, very cool, man. Very cool.
You're an absolute badass, Jason. I hope I can make it out there before 2.0 closes its doors. In the meantime, stay close, man. You're an absolute stud.
Yeah, I'll be around, bro. Thank you so much for your time.
Yours as well, man. I was incredibly fortunate to spend that time with Jason, One Lucky Piggy, and have him drop all of that knowledge on myself and to share with the community. As you see, he is a tremendous student of the game, a lover of the art, a lover of the community, a lover for the vision of the studio. All things through and through. And I have just a deep appreciation for his deep appreciation for everything, and the lens that he looks through when he assesses what he wants to go after and why, and the appreciation he has for for prices and variations and people's perspectives, and understand the importance of coming together face to face to talk through things and to work out meaningful deals. I loved every second of it. He is a truly amazing person, incredible to spend time with. The fact that he has that much attention to this while he also has that much attention to his craft as a chef and restaurateur. Incredible. Loved my time. Appreciate you greatly. Best in all you do, Jason. Until next time, stay sharp, chase smart.